long, sir?
Oh, bear with me, sir. I will be ready in just one moment.
Oh, take your time, sirrah. 'Twere better the deed were done well than done quickly.
Oh, undoubtedly. Yes. But I wouldn't wish to keep you in that costume longer than is necessary. Not in this heat.
Oh, the heat, sirrah, doesn't bother me at all. I'm used to it.
I wonder who he is.
Dunno. Don't think Grandfather knows who he is either. Jolly fearsome, though.
Do you think he's real?
Don't be silly. He's only dressed like that.
Excellent, excellent. Now, sir, if you will be kind enough in your own good time to compose your features into a smile. I think perhaps a scowl might be more apt. And quite still. And now!
Golly!
Oh, very good.
That just serves you right. How many times have you been told about peeping and prying?
There's a man in there, Millie, dressed as a devil.
He's got horns and a tail and everything.
Oh, is he indeed? It wouldn't come as no surprise to me if it weren't old Nicky's self in person, neither. Coming to collect the pair of you for minding other folks' business.
Where are you going, Millie?
Shopping. This here changeable weather ain't enough causing consternation in the larder. Cook's had to throw out that there brisket we was going to have for dinner. And she ain't too keen on yesterday's cold haddock, neither. I'm off to the butcher's for alternatives.
Come on, Phil.
And I'd like to see you two in the nursery afore I goes. Go on. You heard?
Millie.
Why?
Cook's tending to her corns. Last thing she needs is you bright sparks a-clattering around below stairs, so go on, hop it. Shoo!
Kitchen.
I trust you did not find the magnesium flashlight disconcerting.
I'm never dismayed when I'm in the limelight. I only complain when I'm out of it.
It seemed apt for photographing Satan. It's one of these newfangled gadgets I don't normally resort to. Tends to frighten babies and old ladies. Has the same effect on them as lightning.
Brief as the lightning in the coloured night, that in a spleen unfolds both heaven and earth. And ere a man hath power to say, behold, the jaws of darkness do devour it up.
I beg your pardon?
The dream, sir, Act 1, Scene 1. The immortal bard.
Bard?
Will Shakespeare.
Oh, are you by any chance a member of the theatrical profession?
Courtney Ellesmere, sir. Actor and tragedian. Allow me to present my card.
Oh, how kind.
Do you have to brake this vehicle quite so sharply?
Sorry.
I should hope so. Where's Spellbush? Let me out! Let me out of here at once!
Not until you promise to be good. You'll disturb Cook.
It is of little consequence to me, miss, if I disturb every cook in the neighborhood. I am registering an official complaint, and the more that hear me, the better.
Do let him
me
out,
out
Phil,
of this thing.
before someone
Come on.
comes.
What's he officially complaining about now? He's so childish.
He's cross because there's nothing for tea except yesterday's milk and stale caraway seed cake.
Then he's right to complain. I don't like seed cake even when it's fresh from the oven. I hate it. I absolutely hate it.
Just Fistrum, be quiet. You'll be the ones to suffer if anybody hears you.
If the grown-ups find you, they'll lock you up in some museum or something.
Well, that couldn't be worse than seed cake. A museum, young woman, would be infinitely preferable to the indignity of a meat safe.
Oh, don't be so pompous, Spellbush.
Behave, you three.
It's not our fault. We might be able to find you a little cheese.
There could even be a pot of jam.
Oh, well.
While I was incarcerated in the meat safe, situation we won't go into, I happened to observe some cold chicken.
Ooh!
I know someones who ain't a-gonna go hungry this particular tea time. Good job I managed to get to the cake shop before he closed. I reckon your guardian angels must be watching over you all right. All this grand spread on top of your other bit of luck.
What other bits of luck, Millie?
Why ain't the master told you yet himself? Perhaps it's meant to be a secret. Perhaps it ain't for me to speak.
Do tell us, Millie.
Honestly, Millie, we won't breathe a word to anyone. Cross our hearts.
Well then, that there gentleman this afternoon in devil's clothing, would you believe he's a real live play actor, no less. Not only that, but he's appearing at the Tivoli this very week. Not only that, but he was so taken with having his portrait took, he's given your grandpa free tickets for tomorrow night's performance.
It's the play.
Oh, we ought to go.
It's the pantomime about them babes in the wood. Poor little motherless mites. And that there gentleman's the wicked demon king himself. Not only that, but it ain't a bench you sit on up in the gods. It's a proper box. Cook and me's to go as well.
Spellbush, could I trouble you for the water jug?
But why not?
No, thank you. We've already dined. Thank you very much.
But there's tea cakes, fruit cakes, scones, homemade lemonade.
The rind off the Stilton cheese was quite sufficient for my needs, thank you.
I had so much chicken I couldn't eat another morsel.
Brilka says that jam sandwich has quite filled me up.
Oh, very well then. All right. We'll try and smuggle you into the pantomime. But we're not promising anything.
Can't you let me take him off? Very good. Do you mind if I have a piece now?
No,
Thank you very much.
Oh, lovely.
Gerald? Gerald?
What?
Are you asleep?
Yes. What is it?
Will there be a fairy queen?
Bound to be if there's a demon king.
Will she fly?
She might do. Some of them do, some of them don't. But he'll come whizzing up out of a trapdoor with masses of red smoke and a terrific bang. Oh, it'll be really grand.
Go to sleep.
I hope she flies. I hope she's one of the ones that does.
Brilka? Brilka, are you all right? Do as you tell me what's wrong. Brilka! Spellbush!
What?
What's the matter?
What's happened? What time is it?
It's Brilka. She won't answer me.
What? What's the matter with
There must
her?
be something wrong with it. I don't know.
Well, oh, goodness.
Brilka. What is it? Spellbush, come on.
Right, come here, let me. Brilka? Brilka? It's me, Spellbush. What's wrong with you?
Spellbush, I feel awful. I mean, really awful.
Well, what do you think it is?
Oh, do pull yourselves together. She needs a doctor.
I'll be all right. I'll get over it.
No, Fistrom's right. You have to see a doctor.
I'll be all right. If anyone sees me, we're
Oh,
lost, all
don't
three of
talk,
us.
Brilka.
That doesn't matter. She must have some treatment.
Don't listen to him. I'll get over it. I know I will.
She's got to have a doctor.
Looks, Miss Philippa, I ain't no medical doctor. What did you say they was again? Them symptoms?
Terribly hot, Millie. Perspiring dreadfully. And an awful, awful headache.
And who is it, may I ask, what's suffering from this terrible affliction?
My doll, Melissa.
Oh, Melissa, is it? My word, that's serious. We'll have to get her to salt sharpish, and that's a fact. You try that. Off you go.
Well, what did she say? What's 2 tablespoons of jollop?
Dunno.
No, I don't think Millie knows much either.
Fistrom. If those children don't send for a doctor soon, I'll set out for one myself.
We can't fetch a doctor, Spellbush. It's up to them.
No Dr. Fistrom.
Lie back. It was the chicken.
Are you sure?
Positive.
Fistrom's right. It must have been the chicken. Well, I only touched the cheese. He had a jammy sandwich. Brilka was the only one to eat the chicken.
Well, that's it then. We know what she's got. Chicken pox.
Food poisoning.
Well, now we know what she's suffering from. How are we going to treat her for it?
Philippa, you shouldn't.
I had to, Gerald. It's the only way. Thank goodness Cook hasn't put it in the dustbin yet. Where are you going?
To tell grandfather.
No, Gerald, please. You mustn't. Anyway, it's too late now. I've eaten it. I've got to catch what Brilka's got and get some medicine for us both. If I hadn't done it, we'd have had to get a doctor for her. And then they'd all be taken away and put in some horrid museum or a zoo or something.
You must tell grandfather. You could be very ill. You might. We must, Phil.
He'll find out soon enough if I catch it too.
Can I hold your horse, mister?
No.
Can I hold your horse?
No, Letty. No, here we are, driver. That's it.
Doctor, for goodness, you've come.
I'll get the master, Doctor. The doctor's here, sir.
What? Oh, coming. Oh, good morning, Doctor.
Good morning, Mr. Stanton. How's the little one?
Oh, she's up here this way, Doctor. Thank you, Cook.
Well, don't just stand there gawking. Come on, one way or the other. Oh, boy.
Yes, Gerald, you better stay down here, and now do keep out of the way. she is, Doctor.
Oh,
Poor little thing.
yes, oh, dear, dear. What's occasioned this, I wonder?
She comes and goes, Doctor. With us 1 minute, then tossing and turning, fit to burst as if her little life depended on it.
And how long's she been like this?
Oh, came upon her suddenly. She seemed in excellent health this morning.
When she is awake, she keeps on murmuring something about food poisoning, Doctor.
Food poisoning?
Food poisoning?
What would a child of her years know of food poisoning?
It's what she keeps on muttering when she's conscious. Then, when it seems she's only half awake, it's Brenker. Brenker. All the time, this Brenker.
Who or what is Brenker?
I've no idea. As for this food poisoning, it seems impossible. I mean, Cook is extremely cautious.
It's yet to be established, Mr. Gustanton, that it is food poisoning. That's for me to diagnose. Now, open that side here. Uh-huh. There we go. Over we go. That's it. Now.
Brilka! Must help, Brilka.
There. And that's how she's been all afternoon.
What do you make of it, Doctor?
Well, frankly, I haven't entirely reached a conclusion yet.
But is it food poisoning?
She's certainly showing all the symptoms of the complaint, but there are other things too. Anxiety of some sort or another appears to be aggravating the illness.
It's nothing serious, is it, Doctor?
I hope not, sir. Only time will tell us that. First things first, and the most important of those is to get the fever down, and that as quickly as possible. Now, I could do that all the quicker if I knew the source of contamination. I'd like a list of all the food she's eaten over the past 48 hours.
Oh, I could write that down for you, Doctor.
Good. I'm particularly interested in anything that no one else in the house has touched.
Poor little lamb.
It is food poisoning. She caught it from eating some chicken.
Are you sure of that, laddie?
Chicken? We haven't had chicken.
That chicken? Why, she shouldn't have touched that chicken. That chicken was only there to be thrown out.
Never mind the whys and the wherefores now. Does this information assist you, Doctor?
It certainly does. Are you any good at running? And you know the chemist's shop at the corner of Bridley Street and Fletcher Road?
Yes, sir.
Then take this here. Tell them from me that it's urgently required.
All right, Brilka. We're going to get you well again. There's medicine on the way.
Thanks to Philippa.
Yes, Brilka. Thanks entirely to Philippa.
Mercy me, Master Gerald, you did give me a turn.
How's Philippa?
You ain't supposed to be in here. It ain't your nursery now, you know. This is the sick room. You're supposed to be tucked up and fast asleep in that spare bed. She's better than she was, thank heavens. Though not as well yet as she might be.
Is the medicine doing any good?
Oh, it is indeed. It's perking her up no end. And thanks to you for fetching it so smartly. Oh, yeah, speaking of medicine, what time is it now?
Just after 11.
Miss Philippa. Miss Philippa. Time for your last spoonful before you settles down for the night.
Hello. Is Brilka all right?
Straight down in one. Oh, I know it don't taste no great shakes, Miss Philippa, but that only goes to prove it's good for you.
Jollop.
You are improving fast, young lady. And as for you, Master Gerald, you can sling your hook before your grandfather comes in and catches you. Go on, buzz off.
Good night, Philly. Good night.
Sleep well. Well, I'm blessed if I can understand it.
What's that, Millie?
Why, you ain't had no more than 3 doses out of this here, and it's halfway down already. If I didn't know no better, I'd swear someone was nipping in and helping themselves to it. But who'd help themselves to medicine?
I can't imagine, Millie.
Thank you, Fistrum. Now then, Brilka, I hope you're not going to be awkward about this because it's going to make you better. Now, come along, open up. Open up, open up. Come along, open up, open up. That's better. There, you feel much better now, don't you?
Ugh.
It may be the same colour as blancmange, Fistram, but that doesn't mean it tastes like it. Thank you, Fistram. There you go.
A full
It's
spoon
all
this
right,
time.
Fistram, that'll do. Come along, Brelka. Brelka, come along.
You want to get better or not?
You want to get better or not?
It's
Come
just
on,
like thing.
open up. I don't want to hear any arguments.
Thank you, Mr. Garstanton.
Thank you, madam. Good day to you.
Millie said you wanted to speak to me, Grandfather.
No, Gerald. I was wondering whether there was something you wished to say to me.
Very sorry, Grandfather.
I'm glad to hear it.
It'll never happen again.
I should hope not to. You not only allowed your sister to eat rancid meat, you then chose not to advise me of the fact. Consequences could have been extremely serious. However, you seem to have learned your lesson and to have suffered some sort of punishment by having to forego the pantomime last night. Well, in the circumstances, we will consider the incident closed. That's all. Oh, Gerald. Gerald, the lady who was here just now is an associate of Mr. Ellesmere. She's also appearing in the pantomime. By an odd coincidence, she has given me a complimentary box for next Saturday's matinee performance. And as I cannot find it in my heart to punish you for the same thing twice.
Will Philip be well enough to go too, Grandfather?
The difficulty, I imagine, will be in attempting to dissuade her. Go on off, you go.